haven't even gotten to the very strange officiating decisions, but maybe we'll get to that with Shane Willis. I don't know what his appetite for that crap is. So here we go, Shane Willis, former Hurricanes 20-goal scorer. I would say we could use you on the ice, Shane, and we probably could, but I don't really think, unless you can help solve the power play, I think Carolina's got 6 goals in 2 games on Igor Shesterkin, and he's played that well. So I actually think Carolina's offense isn't the problem. I really think it's obviously the power play is and the penalty kill is. But other than that, it's a super close series. Are your expectations dampened?
No. Obviously, your expectations going into New York was to, as every team does, you hope to split.
Right.
And the Hurricanes were one shot away from making that happen before coming back to Raleigh. That doesn't happen, but listening to what you just said and listening to Mike and Tripp last night and your post-game analysis, I've liked the Hurricanes game in Game 1 and Game 2. Yes, special teams has been the difference, and does the power play need to put one in the back of the net? Yes. But also, I don't want to swing all the way the way, saying, the power play is going to have to get 3 goals tomorrow night.
Right.
It's been a 1-goal difference in both games. The power play for the Rangers has been elite, and there's been a difference in 2 games. But when you look 5-on-5, and if you had to mute your television last night like I did so you could just watch a great hockey game, to know that the Hurricanes were playing just as good, if not better, than the Rangers at times. Yes, the Rangers had their push too, but 2 very, very good hockey teams going head-to-head that's been separated by 1 goal. And when you look at and listen to what Rod says when he talks about a bounce, the bounce goes off of Brent Burns' chest right onto the stick of Vinny Trocheck, which throws off some timing for Freddie Anderson, and the game's over. There's your bounce.
Yeah.
For the rest of the game, there's no way anyone could tell me that it's the Rangers outplayed the Hurricanes, because they didn't.
No, they absolutely didn't.
You come back 0-2 and you have an opportunity to win Game 3 as much as you had to win Game 1 and Game 2.
Yeah, there's no question about that. Shane Willis is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. 2 things. One, I had the same issues, and for just inside baseball, for the first few periods, as I found out, the radio audio and the TV audio were close enough where I could have Mike and Tripp in my headset and have the game on a monitor. But that separation got greater, and it became too difficult. I was confused as to what was going on. But for the most part, I did appreciate Sean McDonough reminding us that this game had a playoff feel to it, which he actually said in the second period, because I agree, mostly because it was a playoff game. Shane Willis is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. You talked about bad bounces. So the initial, the first goal, the Alexis Lafreniere goal. This is how, sometimes this is how it goes. The initial shot is taken. Jesperi Kotkaniemi blocks it, and rather than it go, back out to the shooter or deflect into a corner, it deflects right to the wall. Freddie cannot locate the puck. He has no idea where it is. So when Lafreniere shoots it, even from a sharp angle, Anderson isn't even staring at him. He's trying to look through traffic. He doesn't know where the puck is. It's a sharp angle, but it's an empty net. Freddie's not there. He's not covering any part of the available net. I mean, those are the types of things that have, in some ways have worked against Carolina, but Carolina got some bounces as well at times.
Yeah, and you look at that goal as he's trying to track it down. He has, if you go back to that replay and stop it, and I thought Messier and Weeksy broke it down very good in the first intermission. 3 guys in his sight line.
Yeah.
And that allows Lafreniere to pick the top corner and give them the lead. I thought the Hurricanes come back. They come storming back. They, in and out of the penalty box, both teams, and they have a lead going to the third period. You're sitting as the road team where you want to be going into the third period. Up a goal, 20 minutes to go, you're in a great spot. And that's the one area when you look back at that first goal and you look at that traffic, take away special teams. There's no one anyone who's never watched the game says, well, the Hurricanes power play needs to get better. Okay, that's the easy answer now.
Right.
But the one area when you talk about interior position and what they have to do to Shesterkin is more traffic. Not only the goal that Lafreniere scores on Freddie Anderson, the Jake Gensel tip-in goal,
Yeah.
perfect spot, the Hurricanes have to get there more. They're going to have to make his life more difficult in that area to score more goals that they are scoring now, but to create that atmosphere and a big win here in front of a home crowd.
Shane Willis is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. 3 third-period power plays for the Rangers last night, all tripping penalties. I thought the last two were legitimate calls. I had zero problem with either of those two third period. The Martinook and I think Brady Shea was the second one in the third penalty in the third period. The first one on Dmitry Orlov, I thought that was soft. I mean, I realize I am looking at this wanting the Hurricanes to win, so I am not dismissing the fact that I could be slightly favoring the Canes here. But I think the Rangers are diving like fish. Am I crazy? Or Adam Fox, man, I hope he survives that Jake Gensel punch.
That is the only one that I'm going to say I was disappointed in, because the ref is only looking left. He doesn't even see Fox punch Gensel first, and he only gets, which happens 98% of the time, they get the retaliatory penalty. I get it. And I love the reaction, the kill, and then Gensel coming out and scoring. There was a lot of trips. I didn't think they were flopping around. It's a case where a guy on the Orlov one is trying to jump around the check. Orlov is planted, and he clips his leg. I think the way I looked at it, I didn't mind any of the calls that way except for the Fox dive one, because if you go back to the Trouba one, it's very similar, right? He misses the hit, and it's a trip. So I think the game was just so fast. I thought it was an awesome game to watch in my mind, on the edge of your seat. And what I said, the focus has to be when you look at these calls where the Hurricanes are, like with Jordan Martinook's one, he's on the pressure. What stops first in my mind when they're skating is the legs. And then when you have to reach, there's going to be a percentage chance that your stick hits him in the feet and he goes down. You know, Andre's play where he steps just in front of the guy, he falls down.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
Unfortunately, they're looking for that because they're already on the power play. You already have an advantage. Now you can't knock people down. So I didn't mind the officiating last night. I think it went both ways. And you look at the power plays in 2 games, Canes have 10, Rangers have 9.
Right. Well, what I said both during the aftermath and in the podcast last night was that no matter how much we hate the officiating, no matter how much I think it has erroneously taken at least 2 power plays from Carolina, because I didn't like this Svetch trip call off the faceoff on that power play. I didn't like that one at all.
Yeah.
I thought that was 2 guys who just basically bumped into each other. One guy fell. Shockingly, it was Adam Fox, incredible. And
he may play soccer in the summer.
Hey, I thought about it. Honestly, I keep having soccer phrases run through my head when I'm watching Rangers games.
I don't watch enough soccer to have any phrases.
I do. I've watched way too many. Carolina needs to be more clinical in front of goal, Shane. But. So I didn't like that one. I didn't like the Gensel one. But the bottom line is Carolina's power play, if they score 1 power play goal last night, 1, they win the game. And I didn't realize this because I think the play-by-play clip had the shot blocked, but Natchez on the first overtime power play, he hit the inside of the far post. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, and Svetch hit a crossbar in the second period.
Yep.
So the Hurricanes were right there. Again, 1 shot away. You had your opportunity on the power play in overtime. Didn't cash in, and the Rangers did. And that's the difference in the series, both in Game 1 and Game 2. And everyone inside that locker room knows that Mike and I did our podcast this morning, and the questions coming in of concern. And no, the Rangers won the President's Trophy for a reason.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned because you know the character, the preparation that the coaching staff will put into this team. And something Rod said after the game, we still have a belief that we can win. And we've seen that in third-period comebacks. We've seen that in the turnaround, which wasn't that far off, of December 12th when the team flew to Ottawa and that's where the season really took that turn.
Yeah.
The ability is there to win Game 3. That's the only focus. You're not looking at, we're going to now win 4 straight and win the series 4-2. You're focused on one win in Game 3 in front of a ruckus crowd here tomorrow night at PNC Arena.
Yeah.
And then you move on. That's your only focus right now. The power play has to be better. They know that. But when you look at the rest of the game as a whole, I like it. I like where it's at. It's not a major fix needed. When you look at how the team played, especially to start that game in Game 2, and they had the lead going into the third period.
Yeah. And can you take anything out of the penalty kill in this regard? It's not like you're getting beat by a shot, by Stamkos or Ovechkin on the left faceoff dot, or a pass to the bumper for a great shot. You're getting beat in front of your net on scrums, right? Trocheck shovels it in through Freddie. I wish Freddie didn't try to go out and knock the puck out of the air. If he had stayed back, then even if the puck bounces right to Trocheck, Freddie has a much better chance of simply, smothering that puck in front of him and getting a whistle. The Kreider one, he made the save, and it was under him, but he didn't know it was under him. One of the things I talked about was the fact that Carolina's lost net front box outs on both ends of the rink. I think the Rangers defense has done a good job of keeping Carolina away from Shesterkin, even if there are screens, and Carolina has had some of that. I thought their D has done a good job, a better job than Carolina's. Jacob Slavin couldn't keep Chris Kreider from picking the puck off of Freddie's pad and sliding it into the goal. Brent Burns couldn't keep Vincent Trocheck from the side of the net. He couldn't push him out of the way. So I think those types of things have hurt. But for the most part, I thought Carolina's penalty kill did a fairly good job last night. I mean, the Rangers had 7 power plays, and they only scored those 2 power play goals. So I realize that's how a lot of power play goals are scored, but I didn't hate the rest of Carolina's penalty kill.
No, it was much better last night than in Game 1. Game 1, the Rangers moved the puck so quickly, and Rod talked about being a step slow to their pressure. And you're not going to change that, because when the pressure is in sync, and it's something I talk about all the time during the season, is what makes it so good is when they're in sync together. And that pressure is very tough to beat. In Game 1, they were a step slower. In Game 2, they were back to where they needed to be. And again, both those goals came off of just crazy little scrums. It wasn't a tic-tac-toe, you got broke down and burnt, and it was in your net. You had to play, the puck bounced, there's a scrum around the net, and you lost that battle. The little battles is what comes down to it in Game 2, those 50-50 pucks, the net front area, that you have to win in Game 3 to win a game against the Rangers, and that's going to be the focus. It's not a major overhaul of saying, well, let's totally change how we're going to kill these penalties. No. Last night it was there. It was doing the job. And as you mentioned, you lost 2 scrums/box outs around Freddie Anderson that they were able to capitalize on.
All right. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but I'll just throw it out there. I would go to Kochetkov for Game 3. Whether Freddie is just a little worn down, I know there was a large gap in between games or not. I think I would like Kochetkov's athleticism and quickness the way the Rangers are playing, but he also hasn't played in 3 weeks, and that is a major risk to put any goalie in who has not played in such a long time.
Well, the one positive on that side is it seems like the Canes goaltenders have always responded when coming out of a break, whether it be Freddie Anderson, Kochetkov, Spencer Martin, what he did in his time here. So I don't see that as a major concern if you made that decision. I had those thoughts last night going through the game, and I thought if the Canes lose this game in regulation, then I probably make the change. But the way Freddie played late in the game and the saves he made in overtime, very, very good. So now my mindset, and I think where it goes to, is Rod Brind'amour and Paul Schoenfelder walking up to Freddie Anderson saying, how are you feeling? Where are you at when you look at it mentally, physically? And if Freddie Anderson looks back at me and says, I want the net, I turn and walk away and say, go. And because you're looking for that confidence, you're looking for that backbone in your goaltender, and I think that's the answer Freddie's going to give. And I stick with it in Game 3. It's just my mindset again. I'm not the head coach, but I think that's the conversation that's had inside that room and with Freddie, as they have been throughout the playoffs, and why he continues to go, because those conversations are being had. But I think he was, breakaway in overtime, point-blank chance by Lafreniere, making those saves, blocker save on the 2-on-1.
Well, on Roslovic, that was a great save.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, it's not the easy decision, right, that I think everyone thinks, okay, it's time to switch. No, that's not the call. I think there's some strong conversations, and Paul and Rod will have a long conversation about it and see where it's at mentally and physically for their guys and where their best place is to win. But I don't have the concern if they do go with Piotr that he's rusty at all.
Okay. I'll see you tomorrow night. I can't believe it's we have no long breaks in between games. Let's go. Let's get back at it.
This is way better. They always want to get back up on the horse. We're back on it tomorrow night here at home.
I wish we had a back-to-back. Not really. I need more sleep. Shane Willis, Carolina Hurricanes, Bally Sports, all of that. Great youth hockey coordinator. You're the man. I appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Adam.
You got it.